All right, let's get into it. Today, we're diving deep into the mind of one of the most talked about figures of our time, Elon Musk. And we're going to use Ashlee Vance's incredible biography as our map. We're going to unpack the one big obsession that drives him and look at the moment when it all, and I mean all of it, almost came crashing down. Right at the beginning of the book, Vance presents us with this one sentence. And honestly, this is the key to the whole thing. It's the code that unlocks everything else. It's not about the money, it's not about fame, it's about this bone-deep fear that our future isn't a sure thing, and his, well, almost fanatical need to do something about it. So to really understand what that mission looks like, Vance takes us right into the heart of it all, SpaceX headquarters, because it's here that you can actually see what he's trying to build. Imagine walking in, and on one wall, you see this, a giant picture of Mars as it is right now. You know, cold, empty, red, and pretty hostile. It's a very stark reminder of just how massive this challenge really is. But then, right next to it is this poster, and it's Mars transformed. It's got oceans, it's got green continents, it's alive. And the crucial thing Vance points out is that for Musk, this isn't some cool piece of sci-fi art. It's a blueprint. It's the goal. Everything else is just step one. So the big question is, how does a person even start to think on a scale like that? Well, the book argues that to find the answer, you have to go all the way back to his childhood in South Africa, which was anything but easy. I mean, the highlights on paper look like your classic tech prodigy story, right? At 12, he's not just playing video games, he's coding and selling one. And by 17, he just up and moves to Canada completely by himself to build a new life. That level of independence at that age is just wild. But here's the thing Vance makes crystal clear. Behind all those early achievements was a really tough, painful time. Musk himself calls it misery. He talks about being horribly bullied, having a really difficult home life. It's so important to know that his relentless drive, it didn't come from a place of comfort and ease. The biography basically breaks down his insane tolerance for risk into 3 ingredients. First, you've got his grandfather, who was this total daredevil adventurer. Then there's his father, a brilliant engineer who taught him to think from the ground up. And finally, just growing up in the volatility of South Africa at the time, which made insane risks feel, well, kind of normal. And let me tell you, that tolerance for risk was about to be tested to its absolute breaking point. The book spends a lot of time on what it calls the abyss of 2008. This was the year his whole world was literally on the verge of collapsing. For SpaceX, things were just bleak. They tried to launch their Falcon 1 rocket 3 times, and 3 times it ended in a catastrophic explosion. They had scraped together just enough money for one more try. This 4th launch wasn't just another attempt. It was everything, do or die. And listen to his own words here. This isn't some polished CEO statement. This is the raw, brutal honesty of a guy watching his dream literally go up in flames, thinking it's all over. Vance really makes you feel the sheer desperation of that moment. And if the rockets weren't enough, at the exact same time, Tesla was burning through cash, on the verge of going bankrupt. And on top of all that, his marriage was ending in a very public, very painful way. It was a perfect storm. It was failure coming at him from every single direction. But this is where the story pivots, because it's out of that near total failure that we get the book's biggest insight. Vance calls it the unified field theory of Elon Musk, and it explains how all these crazy, separate companies are actually part of one massive plan. So, what on earth does that mean? It means you have to stop thinking of Tesla, SpaceX, and SolarCity as different companies. They're not. They are all interconnected pieces of one giant machine. A machine designed to solve that problem we talked about at the beginning, securing a bright future for humanity. It breaks down like this. Step 1, figure out how to generate clean power on Earth. That was SolarCity's job. Step 2, figure out how to use that clean power, mostly for transport. That's Tesla. So steps 1 and 2 are about fixing our home planet. But step 3, that's the ultimate backup plan, the insurance policy, making humanity multiplanetary with SpaceX just in case things here don't work out. And if you think that's just some grand interpretation, check out this quote from inside SpaceX. It says it right there in black and white. The goal was never just to be a satellite launch company. That business was always just the engine to fund the real mission, getting to Mars. Every successful rocket launch was another dollar toward that goal. Okay, so that's the incredible story the book tells. Now let's switch gears and talk about the biography itself. Is it a must-read? Is it worth your time? So first, just the basics. The book is Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, and the Quest for a Fantastic Future, written by Ashlee Vance. It came out back in 2015, and it really is considered the definitive biography of Musk's during those absolutely crucial make-or-break years. The best thing about it, the access Vance got was just unreal, and it really shows. He makes that 2008 crisis read like a Hollywood thriller. And he does a brilliant job explaining how Musk thinks like an engineer first and a CEO second. Now, the only real con is that it's from 2015. But you know what? That's also a strength. It's like a time capsule, capturing this moment right before SpaceX was landing rockets and Tesla was a household name. So for its amazing storytelling, its incredible access, and for giving us this unified field theory to understand Musk's motives, our final grade is a 9.2 out of 10. It is an absolutely essential read if you're interested in tech, business, or, the future of humanity. So if you could only take one single thing away from this entire biography, what would it be? I think it's this. The book is just powerful proof of what can happen when you have a singular, unbelievably ambitious mission. What Vance shows us over and over is that it's Musk's willingness to just endure pain, to stare failure in the face, and to keep going with this extreme resolve that lets him do things that almost anyone else would just write off as impossible. And hey, if you found this deep dive fascinating, you should definitely check out Walter Isaacson's biography of Steve Jobs for a look at a completely different kind of tech visionary. And also Brad Stone's The Everything Store, which really gets into the relentless ambition of Jeff Bezos. That's it for this explainer. If you want to keep making sense of the people and ideas that are shaping our world, make sure you follow and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.